Hey guys, so I'm back to my uh, hometown, and this is my bamboo grove, and I love this place. So I thought let's do another video. And as I did last time, a lot of people actually reached out to me who started something, and then they realized they weren't like feeling it, and they shut down, right? So there were like three people who reached out with the same issue, that they started out and they shut it down. And I just curiously asked, like, okay, so what happened, what went wrong, and why did they shut down? And in one case there were like founders fighting, but in two other cases it was actually they picked a product which was just unit economics negative, right? They were like, basically, one was doing food delivery and another one was doing something wacky, but the problem was simple, that the unit economics did not make sense, right? They were losing money on every transaction and they couldn't raise funds. And the problem that they said, in fact, all three cases, like why they failed was that they couldn't raise funds. And I think I disagree, because the problem is not that they couldn't raise funds, but the problem was they picked something wrong. Their problem statement was wrong. So I thought, let's talk about how to pick an idea, right? And guys, just a disclaimer, I'm not a tutorial kind of a guy, so I don't really understand how to give you like how to videos, but I am more of a story kind of person, and I can just talk in terms of this worked out for me this way, and so that's what I'm going to do. So my first sort of venture, when I was in college, actually was first successful venture, I would say. I was in US. I was doing an internship at Stanford University in physics, applied physics. And what I started doing was, actually I started flipping iPhones. So if in the initial days, an iPhone will get released, it would be locked, and then somebody would do a jailbreak, and the moment the jailbreak was out, people would unlock it and sell it in the aftermarket. And what would happen is, every time there was an update, it'll just go kind of brick again, right? But again, jailbreak would come and it kind of will work again. So I realized this pattern on Craigslist. The moment there was an update uh, in iOS, right, a lot of iPhones were very cheap, which were actually bricked, because people had jailbroken iPhone. They just updated it. They didn't know how to jailbreak it, but they updated it by mistake, and now it was bricked. And the jailbreak was not in, and it typically took a month or so to get out. And so they just sold it for cheap. So what I would do is, I would I had a bike. I would go around and I would just buy all the iPhones I could for, let's say, $50 to $100, right? That was typical price. And at some point I would buy, let's say, 20 odd iPhones. That was all the money I had. And the moment a jailbreak would come, I would typically roughly sell them, I'll jailbreak all of them and sell them from 20 to $200 to $300. So like a good profit. And why I'm telling you this story is because I did it by accident, but there were like three important pieces of picking an idea, especially when you're bootstrapping. I don't really you know uh, believe in raising funds based off an idea and like going uh, with entrepreneurship in that route. I believe in being your own boss in the truest sense, and that is generating profit and growing from there. So how do you do that? So there were actually three P's which I stumbled upon accidentally, and which are actually not given very importance, like a lot of importance in the entrepreneur circles, because most of the content is around raising funds. And when you're trying to raise funds, the biggest thing that they ask you is scalability. I think actually scalability is way overrated, man. Not everybody in the world is going to create a Facebook. You can create a very good non-scalable company that eventually you can either choose to scale or just run. So, it's not really necessary to have a scalable product or a space from day one. So I'll tell you the three P's of where I stumbled upon, and what matters. How should you choose an idea that you should run with? The first P is passion. People don't realize it. I was doing these phones, I was flipping these phones, but the reality is, even if somebody would tell me that, can you please jailbreak my iPhone, I would stay up all night just for the heck of doing it. I had so much passion, like, about technology with this thing, that I would just do it without money also. So I was doing something that I loved. The fact that I was making money was just a kind of a byproduct. So passion is what keeps you going. So don't underestimate it. It's super super critical. You have to make sure that what you do, you are passionate about it, because when going gets tough, that passion is going to keep you going, right? So that's the number one piece. And the number two piece is product, right? I chose iPhones, right? That's what I was investing in. So it's a standard product, that it's going to really work out. So people need that product. I was not investing, or I was not going for a product that I was not sure of demand, right? So basically choose a product where you have a demand. In the end, I'll give you a few examples also of one good use case and one bad use case, right? And so it will kind of get a bit more clear in that point, right? Choose a product that just is obvious. Don't go for non-obvious products, right? Because you might be very interested in a non-obvious product, but a lot of people are not. Remember, like 99% people don't like to experiment. They just want to go with the safe option and be done with it, right? Only like a few rare people actually like to experiment on things. And if your product is like a very very experimental thing, it might not work. So that's the second piece, right? And the third piece is price. So what it means is that essentially you must choose an idea where your margin is high, your gross margin is high. So I was buying a phone for, let's say, average of $70 and selling on an average of $250, right? My margin was insane. Of course, I couldn't sell 1,000 phones and make a lot of money in it. I don't even know if it is legal or illegal in some sense. I think it's not illegal though, but still it's not scalable at all, right? But the margin was crazy. And that is what a perfect business is when you are bootstrapping. Do not fall into the trap of scalability. That's what every VC tells you from day one. But the reality is, they are not thinking about making you successful. They are thinking about finding a business that they can bet on and make $1 billion exit, right? Which is fine. I mean, that's their business model. But understand, whenever you look at investor advice and they say, this is not scalable, it's not logical, they just mean that it's not investable, but it's genuinely a very good business idea a lot of times. So a lot of people I see, they'll do a product and they'll actually they'll start a service or a product. Their margins would be razor thin, right? Let's say you're selling home cleaning services. Your cost per order is, let's say, your cost that costs you is $100, and you start selling it at $120, because you want to make it scalable. You want maximum people to have that product or service. But the fallacy in that is that it doesn't work, because you can't market because your margins are low, right? And that's what a lot of people don't understand. You have to have high margins because you need to put money into marketing. If your product does not have high margins, you cannot market and you cannot really make it a profitable business. So let me give you a simple example, right? So let's talk about grocery delivery, and let me give you two examples in both. Let's assume you have passion about grocery, and trust me, there are people who are passionate about grocery. I personally am not, but I know there are people who are passionate about grocery. They just love to stroll or walk around in aisles in superstores and look at what new is there. I just want to get done with it. But there are people who are passionate about it. Let's say you're passionate about grocery, and your product is clearly good, because grocery, everybody needs it. Now come to the price point, right? What happens is, I'll give you a good example, bad example. Good example is where you say, okay, I'll have I'll have Unilever products. I'll have like all the mainstream products where the margin is going to be 10 to 20%. I'll deliver because everybody buys it. Every day there are like, 10,000 people in a small city buying these products. How tough can it be to sell, right? The real point is it's not tough to sell, but there is no margin in it. So you can't market, right? So it becomes kind of an impossible business to run because you'll say, okay, CAC, which is customer acquisition cost, for every order typically comes out to be around 30% of an order size, right? Let's say if you have, order size of $100, your CAC typically should, or, in real world would come to around $30. So if you don't have that 50-60% gross margin and you can't invest that $30 for $100 order, you won't work. Now let's flip that same example and say I started selling organic grocery, which is like sourced from local people and stuff, and it is priced at around twice or thrice that, but the margins are crazy. There's like 60% margin there. Then what happens is you will not get a lot of orders. You'll be in a small niche, but you'll be highly profitable. You can actually spend a lot of money per transaction to market properly and really, get your business going. Once, let's say you are doing, 20, 30, 40 orders a day, it's still not scalable because, not everybody is going to buy, crazy overpriced organic grocery, but you will be running a profitable business. At that time you can decide, do you want to grow horizontally, which is like try to create a organic brand across the country and maybe scale that way, or you can try to go vertically by lowering margins and stuff like that. So what I'm saying is you will essentially pivot after building a successful business across the time, and then decide, do you want it to be a lifestyle business or a scalable business. Most businesses that succeed in the beginning in a bootstrap manner need to get these three things right? You have to have passion. Otherwise, you will just not have a feel for the product, right? Don't get into a product because the market is hot. You have to have passion about it. Number two is product has to be standard. Don't make something funky. Make obvious products. Don't reinvent products. Just reinvent, the model, the business model around, or rather the, just fill a gap rather than trying to do something completely crazy. Finally, right, price it right so you have a good margin, because if you have margin you can market, and that's how it works. So thank you. Hopefully it helps in choosing the right idea. After this, I'll talk about getting product market fit, right? Once you have chosen the right idea and you want to now validate if it works or not. So that's the stage which we call product market fit. Let's talk about it in the next video. Hopefully it helps. If you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you. Bye bye. Sorry about the background noises with my dogs. Didn't realize it'll be so much, but yeah, next time I'll make sure there's less of them. Thank you. Bye bye.